Live. All right, I'm gonna get started. Unlimited expired listings to expand your real estate business. I thrive on expired listings. I literally will go through 5, 6, 7 times a day on a hot sheet looking at expired listings. Kelly was just asking me a while ago, do they happen all day long? Yes, they do. Expired now in our matrix system. If somebody puts a listing in at 12:01 p.m. and then it expires 30 days later, for example, it'll expire at 12:01 p.m. Okay, so expired listings are very, very important. Purpose and expectation, result and reason. Purpose: to teach a proactive approach to effectively moving into relationships with people who have indicated desire to sell their home. This is a relationship business. Real estate is relationship oriented. Expireds have already indicated a desire to sell their home. These are what I call hot market individuals. They want to sell. Okay? Expectation: after this class, you should feel enough desire to consistently contact expired listings to increase your real estate business. Result: substantial increase in revenue and your life profit. We all know that this business, hello, Miss Katrina.
Hi. Sorry.
We all know this business is really meant to fund our lives. I was talking to a realtor with another office this morning, who's a friend of mine. She had called me over the weekend on a broker problem. And she goes, you know, if it wasn't for what this business does for paying for my kids' college, I don't know why I'm in this business anymore. And I said, you know, that's what I was telling most of us. Most of us are in this business for what it does for us. Not because we love buying and selling homes. It's for what this business does for us. Okay, so we're going to increase our life profit. Reason: expired listings are considered hot market items and a vital source of a consistent real estate business. This source of business is part of the operational model and a daily source of potential new clients. When we talked about the operational model, we talked about expireds for new business, the sellers go into our client care systems, yard sign, home, internet, just listed, go back up into new business again. Okay? So expireds are a vital source. Nice to see you, Tony.
Always late.
There should be a couple of books back there, pamphlets.
Actually, I'm sorry, I think I grabbed you the wrong one. Ms. Katrina?
Is there enough, or do we need one more?
I grabbed you the wrong one. Oh, okay. Yeah, we need one more.
Okay, I'll get one for you. She got
Okay.
When we start talking about hot market items, especially for sellers, there's 2 real hot market items that we talk about for marketing for business. Expireds and for sell by owners. They want to sell. So remember that. If you're looking for sellers, for sell by owners, expired listings. So let's talk about, why do homes go expired? Typically price. Typical agent will allow a homeowner to dictate the entry point price. Most owners want the highest value, sometimes beyond realism, due to their emotional ties to the home. How many times have you run into that? You walk into a listing appointment, you start talking about price, you've got a number in your head, and they come in $20,000 higher. It's because they've been here, they've done this, they've done that, they've done that. It doesn't matter what they've done. What the market says is, this is where they're at.
That happened to me on my
Yep.
Twitter one.
Oh, really?
Yes. In the house, barely standing.
Yeah.
Literally. No, I'm kidding.
Well, as a homeowner, you become blind to problems. You become blind to that stain on the carpet. You become blind to the paint defects. Because you've been in it and you pass by it.
No. I get the carpet, because those things we see is, the buyer is gonna change anyways. But I'm talking, half the house is leaning backward.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking,
That's a
the
structural
fireplace is missing its face.
Mm.
I'm talking doors are gone.
Yeah.
It was, and he wanted $200. No investor is even gonna pay that. I've never had to turn down a listing before.
Oh, I have, yeah. It's hard to do sometimes.
Oh, you said can't be.
What do you do with it?
Yeah.
I what am I gonna do with it?
Yep.
I know for a fact, it's a house in the corner, it's on the market for $229.
Right.
It's been sitting for 85 days at $229 because it has issues. And it's not gonna sell, an investor's gonna come in and wanna pay $150. I told him I probably can manage like $160.
Yep.
But by the time you repair, you gotta add all those costs back in.
Yep.
And then I told him your best bet would be to take a second mortgage or, refinance, pull some money out, fix it up. I said, but when you go to sell, you're gonna be right back at market value.
Exactly.
So it's a want. And
Well, the problem is they're going to end up walking away from the house. I almost guarantee you what most times they do is they go, you know what? We're going to walk away. We'll go rent somewhere and then let it go.
Maybe I'll go into it later, but Tony and I have lost, listings before because we did tell them what we thought their house was worth and then offended them. And then they went with someone who went with the number that, that they had in mind.
And
So,
2 weeks later dropped to
Right.
Well,
so
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you go in there and you just let them dictate the price at first, but tell them, hey, I just want to let you know, we'll probably have to reduce because you're probably not going to get this number.
Right. I'll get into this
Okay,
more
cool.
when we talk about listing presentations.
Okay.
When we do a listing presentation class, I'll talk about this.
Okay.
Just 1 second.
Yeah.
When, for example, I went on a listing appointment on Saturday afternoon. It was a home that the older people had moved out of the home. The son was selling it for the couple. And I knew what the market value was. And I walked in, I said, here's what I typically do on a listing presentation. I'll go in and I'll say, I work a little bit differently than most agents. I know what market value is going to be for your home, but it's really going to be dictated upon your needs. Do you need to sell fast? Do you need to sell for money for a higher value? Or is it somewhere in the middle? And so that's where we need to set your entry point for the price. It's dependent upon what your needs are for the home. Now, if you're willing to sit on this home for a while, we can go here. But based upon what you're telling me, we need to be here. And I don't want to put on unreasonable expectations that you're going to be here and we're going to sell in the first week. That's not what's going to happen with your home right now at that price. So I always set that expectation of, one thing is I want to know what your needs are. I want to be a consultant with them as far as what are your needs and what's the reason you're selling the home. There's typically two things, either money or speed or, can they sit or do they need to go? And he said, I really need to go. I need this gone before my dad passes away.
So let's price it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Thanks.
Yeah. So that's typically what I talk about. Kelly?
Just a quick question. So I've noticed on some of the expired, really small days on the market.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I just came across one that was, like over the weekend, that was like 12 days. So is that 12 days on the market?
That's a little odd. Typically on something like that, it may have been they were off the market for a while and then it went expired or.
That's what I was wondering, because that's what I've seen a few of these where it's like real small periods of time where I'm wondering if like.
Some of them are testing. Some of them are testing. They want to see what's my activity going to be if I put it on. It's a waste of time for a lot of agents to do it. I wouldn't do it. Typically, I tell people my minimum to list a home is going to be 120 days. It takes me time. I use a professional photographer. It costs me money to list a home.
That's why I was concerned, because I'm reaching out to them and see if I get somebody like that where they have.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell them not reading or.
Well, I called on some of those because that was in the summertime. There was a lot of those 7-day, 12-day listings that I saw. And the agent told me that it was because the sellers thought the house would sell.
Yeah.
We could sell it in a week. And I was like, well, it just doesn't make sense to me. But
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of how a typical agent's going to do it. Is they're basically going to go do whatever the homeowner tells them to do. And you don't want to do that because it's a waste of your time. Okay. I always tell you guys, time is your only thing that you cannot replace. So don't waste it doing something that's not going to get something in the long run. Okay. Second reason, marketing. Typical agent just lists the home in MLS without marketing the home. Be a marketing agent, not just a listing agent. Find the amenities the previous agent missed. Your MLS advertisement is syndicated to multiple websites for buyers. Remember, marketing is an extension of you. When I go into a listing presentation, or when I call an expired, I tell them, I'm not just here to list your home, I'm really here to get it sold. I'm a marketing agent. Okay, I'm not just a listing agent putting a sign in your yard. It didn't work the first time, so let's actually market your home this time. So let's talk about how we're going to market it. Let's find the amenities that your home has and get them to open up, get them to talk, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes too. 3, location. Location cannot be changed, but there are pluses in almost every location. Easy access to major roads. Yeah, it backs up to I-30, but it's got real easy access. All right, walking distance to schools. Yeah, the elementary school is right across the street. You're going to have cars in front of your house twice a day. But on the weekends, guess what? You got no one in front of you. So they're buyers for every property. Every property is going to sell. It doesn't matter if that school is right across the street. If I-30 is right behind them, that house will sell. Somebody will buy it. I showed a house one time. It was on a busy street. I mean, busy, loud street. And they said, yeah, it's next to the street, but you know what? This street is actually a lot less traveled than the street that we live on now, so it's actually pretty quiet for us. I was like, all right, that works. Cool. So there'll be everything. Every house is going to sell. I mean, it doesn't sit there. All right. So what should you expect from the seller? When you've got a seller who's been on the market, it doesn't matter if it's 30 days, 45 days, 120 days, they're mad. They're disappointed. They're frustrated. They've been in an unproductive relationship with a realtor and feel let down by them. After 6 months, they feel beat down by possible offers, bad feedback, and or contracts that fell through. Plus, a realtor is probably missing in action by now. They're mentally tired. I've picked up expired listings, and I've gone to a listing appointment. I've talked to them. I've gone to a listing appointment. They said, yeah, I would email my realtor and I'd get back a one-word response. Yeah, they get back a one-word response or get back a response 3 or 4 days later. Communication is always key. Doesn't matter if it's an expired listing, current buyer. Communication is always key. So let's talk about the flow. The first week, they're getting a lot of showings, realtors in contact. They're still excited. They still feel like, you know what, we're going to get this done. After the first month, showings are slowing down. Realtor contact, slowing down. Feeling a little let down right now. Not feeling so positive about things. After 3 months, they may get a showing once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Realtor contact, very little at this point. The realtor knows that he's got a problem. So he's not talking to them. He knows that if he contacts them, he's going to hear it in their voice. He's going to feel in their email, their text, something's not right. You know, are they going to want out at this point? Client's a little depressed right now. 6 months, they're probably not getting any showings anymore. No realtor contact, and they're angry. So that's what you're going to be dealing with expires. Okay? But you're here to give them hope, to give them, you know what, I'm not your previous agent. We're not all alike. By the time 6 months is over, they're beat down, tired, and mad at every realtor. They still want and need to sell their home. And they still need you. They still need a realtor to sell their home. Okay? Some of them may try for sale by owner, but they'll go back to a realtor. It's kind of like when you go buy a car. You walk into the car lot. You see that car salesman walk up to you and you're going, yeah, just look. Just let me look. You know what? They understand that now. Now they'll come back and I'll go, you know what, here's my card. I'll feel free to take a look around, just come get me when you need me. And that's cool. But you still need that car salesman because when you're ready to go take that test drive, guess what? He's the one who's got the keys. So your goal is to get in contact. Well, does that make sense? So the house, so they can see your value proposition and self-discover you as someone different. A realtor consultant with value. Remember we talked about the penny and the dollar? I'll change it to $100. But the penny and the dollar, you don't want to be the penny. Penny's worth, it's just not even worth a penny. Don't be the every realtor who's also the same penny. Give them value. be that $100 bill that they don't want to lose, that they'll hold on to.
So what do you see more whenever you're, dealing with expired listings? I mean, I'm imagining that a good chunk of the majority are listed because of pricing, which means that it was probably dictated by the client not wanting to move on that. At some point, they've probably recognized that there's something specific to their house. Why I hadn't sold is probably correct, right? The pricing is the issue. Do you see more that they are now willing to work with that, or that they're just so pissed with the whole process? I mean, I can see there's something going on if it's gone this long. So is it more of a pain dealing with it because of the house is crap, or it's overpriced, or whatever, or are they?
Typically, when you're walking into is here's what I see on a lot of expires these days. They've gone into a situation to where the realtor said your house is worth this value, without taking into account the wallpaper or the carpet or the outdated part of it. That if somebody would have come in and said, you know what, if we stage your home a little bit better, if we invest a little time and a little money into your house, we can actually recoup that dollar. If not, you're not going to get this price. And so a lot of times the realtors are just going in going, you know what, we're going to list it, we're going to market the heck out of it, and we're going to find you a buyer. Well, they're not going to find the buyer, because buyers don't want to come into a home that they're having to now throw in another $5,000 into to get it back up to date. They're letting the situation, they're letting the seller dictate the sale.
Now, for MLS, doesn't it have to stay out for 30 days to reset?
No.
It doesn't.
No. What happens on MLS is there's two things that will happen. You can either let it go 30 days and it'll reset the whole days on the market, or you can relist a day or two later, and what will happen is the cumulative days on market will actually have two numbers now. Cumulative days on market, which will have the previous plus your ones now, and then a days on market with your actual days with the new MLS number. So that's what will happen.
But that still shows that
It'll show realtors that, it won't show the public that.
okay.
But it's nice having enough, they can look at the history of that
Yeah.
property anyway, and
Right.
see like, 30 days ago.
I was showing one yesterday. I was showing homes to my cousin yesterday over in Garland, and I pulled up this house and I'm going, that's a cute little house. What's the deal here? Well, the deal is it had been under contract 3 times since June. And you can't tell that because it keeps getting taken off the market. But since June, it's been active, contracted, back active. And so I pulled up the history and went, there's a problem here with this house somewhere. There's a reason why these contracts. Yeah, there's something coming through here. There's pizza. Y'all hungry?
Always.
Yeah.
Let's grab some pizza. Twist. All right.
I was gonna say, she got a fancy little name tag.
Yeah. I don't. What you do?
Oh,
No, I can
yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, my cartilage.
Monkey chicken. Chicken parts.
Chicken coma.
Christmas turkey on the way.
Actually, now that I said it's done, so. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that dress.
Yeah.
Did you make anything to drink? Did you want
Oh, no, I'm fine, thank you.
They need a drink? That's super good. I had it on the way, don't worry. What? I had to have it by on the way.
Now, a little beach going on 380, a little Elm, if you want to open up an office next to that one.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I noticed that all the offices next to the beach joint.
Huh.
You're probably claiming that's coincidence, but we know.
I know. people go, I only want to be in this school district. I've got kids that want to be here, so they're missing buyers. Pull up that listing, I always pick those expired listings apart. Same thing with cancels. Pick them apart, okay? You're here to go, you know what? I know why your house didn't sell. If you really want your house to sell, I can help you.
I've been seeing really bad typos, like really bad, like on streets. On
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah,
No photos.
I saw one yesterday, had no public remarks.
Are you gonna go into this to where you don't feel like you're bashing your
Yeah.
colleagues and?
Yeah, you don't want to bash them. You just want to say, you know what, I took a look, there's some things that I would tweak. There were some things that I would change as far as our marketing that we see that works. And you want to emphasize things that work. And so you would tweak it. Say, I want to tweak their listing a little bit. I would tweak the way that they do things. And they say, well, what would you do? I said, you know what? If you really want to say, then let's schedule a time to meet. Let's talk. Let me see the home just to make sure that I'm seeing what I'm talking about. And we can sit down and go over my marketing plan and see if it works for you. Okay? Your whole goal really is to get into a meaningful dialogue, get them to open that door for you and get in the door. Okay? To show your value. Okay? Find the tax records for the seller's name and current address. Do they live at the home or are they remote selling? What we were talking about just a minute ago. Google PIPL.com, whitepages.com. AT&T has a site. There's lots of different ways that you can get people information. Again, these days, Facebook is a great one. I saw one over in Frisco last week, that nice $700,000 vacant home. And I know what the guy does for a living. I know where he's at, and I want that listing.
Well, I bet.
So if going through the Facebook route.
Yeah.
If they are on the do not call,
Mhm.
how does texting fall into that? Because technically, unless you are friends, the Facebook chat is still going through their text number, even though. So.
Going through their computer, it's not going through their text number.
Well, it depends. I have a Facebook chat where the number is associated with it, so anybody who still isn't my friend, if they see me they just do a search on Facebook, they can still reach me, and it comes through my.
It hasn't been addressed yet.
Okay, so it means it's good. Okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's still,
Ask for forgiveness.
yeah.
Permission.
Yeah.
Same thing about it.
Do a quick CMA to see where the home is listed by the market standards. Take a look at the photos. Typically, you can tell on the photos, you know what, this house is really overpriced. Okay, or you know what, it was priced good, marketing needs to be changed up some. This amenity needs to be pulled out more. The fixtures, the whatever you can find, the backyard. Find those amenities that they're not pushing, because those are what typically sell. 2 items sell, a house, not talking about price and location. Master bath. Okay. Find those 2 amenities, try to pull those out just a little bit more. Backyards too. Backyards are big items these days. Now, contact with your prepared material. Even go to the property if you can. Take items of value, such as an updated market analysis and a net sheet. Okay? You want to update because the market's changing. The way the market was when they listed back in May is different than the market is right now. What's the market doing right now?
Oh, no.
Slowing down. Listings are going up, inventory's up, sales are down. So make sure that they're aware this is what's going on. Because their realtor's probably telling them, may have told them, you know what, we're slowing down a little bit, but they don't know that inventory is going up. And try to get as specific as you can. Netris Trends is really a good tool for you guys. Netris Trends is really good at being more specific on a home. I can go into Netris Trends and pull up nothing but resale properties between a certain value and pull up everything I want to see how the graph is going. So be statistical with them. These days, like we were saying, every realtor can be a penny. The problem is that everybody knows realtors. You want to differentiate yourself, give them information. Those are really what clients are looking for. They're looking for information. The goal is to get face-to-face. Keep in mind that you can't control what expires, sellers ultimately do. All you control is the number of relationships you open the door on a daily basis. If you contact by phone again, please consult the do not call list in the hours of 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Don't call during 5 to 6:30 during dinner time. I don't answer my phone. Most people don't answer their cell phones anymore. Most people don't have home phone numbers for the most part. So I don't answer my phone then. If you call me during then, I'll call you back. But my personal thing is I don't, because I'm spending time with my family.
What time, you said cut it off at 9?
9 p.m. What time do I call? I call in the morning. I set my time, and we'll talk about this. Set your time because it happens all day long. I set my hot sheet for the past 24 hours. And so typically I'll set my time in the morning up until 10 a.m. to where I'm looking at it really to figure out where I want to look at as far as prospecting. And then by 10 a.m., I'm off doing something else. Okay, but try to do your prospecting in the morning. That's your money maker. That's what you have to do on a daily basis. Do it. And the thing about it too is calling and contacting people is very difficult. Picking up that phone or making that message is a very difficult thing to do. But you can't take it personal. This is business. This is not personal. They don't know you. They're not going to remember your name. If they hang up on you, don't take it personal. Just build relationships. That's all you can do.
So that's one of my difficult things to do is, because I know how much I can't stand when people call me. Yeah, I mean, they're doing the same thing, but you don't want to be that guy.
You feel that way? And here's the way I try to look at it is, you don't want to be that guy, but if you're not that guy, somebody else is going to be. And again, I do this because I've got kids that are going to college. I got kids that play club. I've got to make money.
Yeah, no, all those people who call me still do too, and I still hate them.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about the middle side of it. We talk about be in the success mode. Be mentally tough. Be absolutely committed to achieving success. Be detached from the outcome, whether positive or negative. Okay? It doesn't matter what happens on that phone call or that contact. Be detached from it. This is business relationship. Okay? You're here to create a relationship. You're not here to get down if somebody hangs up on you or cuts you off. Okay? You're here to go into the next one. It's the same thing if you get an appointment. Go on to the next one. Okay? Don't get so positive that, all right, I got a listing appointment, I'm done. No. Go on to the next one. You may have 2 listing appointments. Okay? Energy is the key. Stand up when making phone calls.
Why?
I pace.
I pace.
I pace.
I'd rather be up because it gets my energy going. If I sit down, you lower your energy level. If you stand up, you get your energy level going.
Put a mirror in front of you too.
Yeah.
So you remember to smile.
Yeah.
I'm
Serious.
serious. People hear
Yeah.
it in your voice when you smile.
They
It feels
do.
awkward at first, but you know.
Yeah. And I always tell people is the more energy you have going, they feel it. They want to talk to positive people. Okay. Remain upbeat, positive, and confident, but don't go into cheerleader mode. Okay. Sound genuinely interested in helping others.
What do you mean by don't go into cheerleader mode? Meaning don't talk a lot about yourself?
Don't talk a lot about yourself. Don't rah-rah yourself. Just try to get them to talk. You want them to conversate with you. You don't want to conversate with them. You want them to open up. You want to find out, why do you think your home didn't sell? Okay? Get them to open up and talk to you. Don't sound desperate. Don't sound desperate. Stay hydrated. Water. Drink. Your mouth will go dry. Have a bottle of water there. Take 1 hour a day to make your contact hour your most motivated hour. Again, I do 9 to 10. I know by the time that 4 o'clock comes around in the afternoon, there's a glass of wine waiting for me.
So do
Not a
you,
phone call.
do you leave a message each time, or do you?
I leave a message. Yeah. I'll leave a message and I'll call back. There's one train of thought that you make a contact once a day, every 3 days for the first 10 days. For 10 days, you're calling them 3 times
The
to make
same
contact.
person?
Same person to get contact.
And I always follow up a voicemail with a text message, because I know how my day goes. If I listen to that voicemail right then, I'll likely forget. But if I go back through my text messages, I have a visual as well. And I say, I just left you a voicemail, feel free to contact me, here's my email, so they've got everything.
Okay. And then afterwards, rate the experience 1 to 10. Each time you talk to somebody, rate it. How'd it go?
Do you
How
have
can
a-
you improve? What could you change?
Do you have a log sheet that you would share
Yeah.
with us?
Make your calls behind closed doors so you can totally focus on the vital task at hand. Simply going through the motions or making unfocused, half-hearted attempts leads to frustration, disappointments, and inevitable resistance to the task. Okay? We're looking to fix this.
Let me ask you, I'm using a CRM to start to do some of this stuff to realize that spreadsheet's gonna get real old real quick, and there's no way for selling them at miners and various things. Do you just use Lead Street and our built-in stuff, or
Yeah.
do you have?
I usually straighten out, I'll create a category. Like I've got a category for Zillow, make me move people. So yeah, I go through all that.
I have a spreadsheet, I'd be lying if I said I used it, but if you wanted something like that, I'd feel free to share it where it's got.
One second.
Especially with more computer savvy.
Yeah, me too at this point in time.
What were you trying to do?
Go back a little bit.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Financial reasons. Expired listings cost little, nothing to prospect. Phone call doesn't cost you a single dollar to make a phone call. Letter, 50 cents for the paper, stamp, and envelope. Drive by $1 for the gas and the marketing fees. Most of you would pay a referral fee of 25 to 35 to 45% to get a listing. Why wouldn't you spend $1 to drive to somebody's house to drop off a marketing piece? Cost you a little bit of time and little to no money.
And it's a differentiator.
It's differentiator. How about creating a Facebook ad? Did your home go expired? Did you not sell during the hot market? Would you be interested in maybe a new marketing approach? $30 a month.
Is that what these ads cost?
It doesn't even cost that much. I set a limit on what I do on an ad. To sponsor one, like I'll create a post and boost it or whatever, and I'll put it on a pay-per-click type deal, and off it goes.
Do you get much? I mean, I've boosted several things, I've yet to get paid back.
I do on occasion, but you have to be really, you get to say it's not going to cost a lot and it doesn't really cost that much to do. So one time pays for itself.
Yeah,
many times over.
one hit off of it will pay for a year of ads, I guess.
Yeah. And here's what we're talking about, that sheet. It's in your folder as well. Weekly expired accountability sheet, expires, contacts, appointments, listings. The last day and the first day of the month have the most expired listings. Typically,
Makes sense, yeah, because I
Yeah.
expired on mine the last day of the month.
you expire on the last day of the month, because what happens on the first, there's a whole list of expired listings.
Since you need to really, run a CMA and do some research before you contact them, do you, first day of the month, get up at midnight or sometime to start pulling it? So in other words, you're the first one, because I imagine they're probably getting bombarded.
Yeah, they will get bombarded. A lot of times I won't necessarily do a CMA on the first part of the month if I don't have a lot of time. Depends on how many I'm actually looking at. And actually in the year, I used to get a lot of listings on January 1 because everybody expires December 31st. January 1, I'm looking through the hot sheet. So typically I'm pulling up the listing and just dialing, I call it dialing for dollars. You're making those phone calls just to get in.
So I'm assuming that most brokers are advising the same thing, right?
A lot of people are. You'll see, if you go to YouTube, for example,
If they're new, if they have new agents, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is where we're gonna get.
I
Well,
mean, I would imagine,
It's where you
one
get your
person,
working
yeah,
experience anyway.
I can just see them just being completely.
well, it's like they're saying,
How do you set yourself apart from all the other calls that are coming in? I mean,
this is what you want to say
It's
is,
a numbers game.
it's kind of a numbers game, but you want to say is, I'm not just here to list your home, I'm a marketing agent. I'm not just a listing agent, I'm a marketing agent. Something to differentiate yourself from somebody going, I'm so-and-so, I'm calling from Remax. Okay, great, so are you, so it is, you know, I'm a marketing agent with Remax. That's a little bit different. What do you mean a marketing agent? Well, I don't just list a home, we actually go in and market properties. That's what we
That
do.
works.
That's
by
what
the
we
way.
specialize in.
It's worked for me.
We specialize in actually marketing homes.
That really works.
My
And I
phone,
don't market, and it works for me.
yeah, I'm trying to think of, kind of an elevator pitch when they've got very likely someone from your same office, calling, doing the same thing. I mean, it's a numbers game, but at the same time, you want to play smart instead of just running through the numbers, right? If you can play it smart, those know that it's going to go way up. So what is that differentiator? What's going to set you apart from everybody else? If you're the one that they remember when they're going through their voicemails, they've got 5 of them right there, who are they going to call?
something that works for me is to say, I know I'm not the first person to call.
Yeah.
And they really like that. You resonated that you're probably tired of these calls right now, so.
Say, I understand you've probably received 500 phone calls from realtors right now about listing your home. But I just kind of want to talk to you about it real quick. I'm not here to list it. I'd rather talk to you about marketing it and see what we can do about getting it sold for you this time around.
And we keep asking questions to keep the conversation going,
Yes.
and that helps out too. And then like generally, finally, they're gonna, like Tony said, break down their wall, and then they'll open up a little bit more.
Be
So-
empathetic. Be empathetic. If
And
you
just keep asking.
keep asking, getting them to open up, getting them to talk, and be empathetic to their situation. They're tired. They're frustrated. They've got 500 phone calls today. They've got 300 more voicemails. Be empathetic to them. Okay? It does work. I promise you. So let's talk about conversion rate goals. And this is where really the money comes around to you. Conversion rate. Say a conversion rate of only 5%. 5. 30 expires in a week times 5% is 1.5 per week. 1.5 times 4 weeks a month, you convert. 1.5 times 4 weeks a month, that's 6 listings a month. That's spending an hour converting these. 6 per month times 12 months, 72 listings. Let's say you cut your conversion rate down to 2.5%. Now you're down to 36 listings, just working expireds. So you think you convert 2.5%? I think you can do it pretty easily if you just try. Put a little effort into it, put a little time into it, a little thought in it. So limit your mind to working with expired listings. Effective conversation and consultation, excuse me. Hi, my name is Chris Harden with Remax Four Corners. Notice your home listing expired today. I was contacting to see if you still had a desire to sell your home. Or, my name is Chris Harden with Remax Four Corners. I noticed your home listing expired today. I was contacting to see if you're still serious about selling your home. Yes, great. May I send an appointment to come by and share with you a more proactive and aggressive plan for getting sold? No.
But they say no.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Well, yeah, that's what you would say on the phone.
Mhm.
But would you still send them something in the
Yes,
mail?
absolutely.
Do that,
Absolutely. Because they don't remember you.
right.
They don't remember you. I may even go to the house.
I like to not say thanks and have a great day. I understand if you change your mind, here's my information. So
Perfect.
it's still in their hands.
Yep.
Because you never know.
You never know.
Flipping through that and can't come across anybody else's card and like, oh, let me get her call.
Well, it's like the people that are going to be listing their house. I went on a listing appointment 4 years ago. I had to look it up. And I'm going, where do I know this name from? And I went through my emails and I talked to these people in June of 2012. And I stuck them in my database and stuck their email address in my database. And they told their son to call me because they kept getting my stuff from my database. So
Is that stuff that's coming out of our
Yeah.
insurance?
Yeah, from Lee Tree.
Clearly, I'm not using it.
See? But like I said, this is over 4 years ago. I get this listing appointment, or this listing. And I'm sitting there going, okay. I'll come to find out the father now's in assisted living. Mom's blind in one eye. And so, yeah, it's a sad story, but hey, sweet. So fantastic. I'm available to meet your home. Either set a time. You're a busy person. Set a time. Don't go on their time. I can come by at 7 o'clock tonight. Or I can come by at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is more convenient to you. You want to be convenient, but you want it to be busy. Okay? And always make sure both decision makers are home. You don't want to go to a listing appointment with just the wife or just the husband, and they're having to go, okay, well, I need to talk to my husband. He works. Okay, when's a convenient time that I can talk to both of you? So we can talk about this to make sure we're all on the same page. Okay, you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste their time. So common responses. Wish you realtors would stop calling me. I understand you're frustrated. I don't mean to hassle. If I could just show you more aggressive, professional, proactive approach with 15 to 20 minutes, be worth your time for accomplishing your goals. We're going to relist with our current agent. Sometimes I say, yeah, that worked out really well the first time around. No, I don't. Said, have you signed the extension yet? No? Great. I would love to show you a more proactive approach, maybe a different feel to what you have now in getting this done. It's really strange how people will relist their home and they may have listed it up too high and now they're willing to come down with the new agent. 9 times out of 10, they'll come down. Realism that, you know what? All right, we just want to try something different. It'll come down the price too. We're going to take it off the market. Well, if you could still sell your home in the next 30 to 45 days, would you? Of course not.
Say yes,
What do you mean my listing's gonna expire? I've got that a lot of times too, is they don't even know their listing's not expired yet. Well, the MLS shows your home is no longer available for sale and your listing agreement with your current agent apparently has expired. So do you have a copy of your listing agreement, and when's the last time you heard from your agent? Because apparently they haven't heard from you for a while to know the listing's gonna expire. Okay. A realtor told me it's the wrong time of year. It's been my experience that homes sell in all 4 quarters. Also, some of our busiest month is when inventory is less. Some of my busiest months have typically been from October, November, December.
So how do you know when their contract with the agent expires?
Because they put it in MLS that it expires on that date.
So you have both the listing and the agent expiration?
No, it's the same time. Same time. Whenever that listing goes expired,
On the hot sheet.
yeah, they have, because the listing agreement says that you're going to list it between this time and this time. That's what the agreement period is for.
So you can't look in active and try to figure out what's going to expire, right? Because sometimes I heard this from a client of mine, that they were getting calls like around the 4th or 5th month because they're trying to anticipate when that listing is going to expire. But for you, why do that? You know when it's going to expire because it's going to come up on the hot sheet for expired.
Right, yeah.
But you don't know the date because you can't see that.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of like my client only wanted to list within MLS for X amount of time, but I mean, I'm trying to
When
remember
it
now.
expires, everybody's going to know.
But right, but I was still their agent beyond that. That's just all that we had it in for MLS for.
What I would do in that situation, I would list it, and then when that date came around, I would take them to TOM. Because as soon as you get expired, that shows every agent that really your listing agreement has gone expired, even though your agency agreement doesn't sound like it had.
Right.
But as far as putting it in MLS, I would take it to TOM
Okay.
and then letting it cancel out on the last day of that listing agreement.
Okay. What I was trying to do in that question was make sure we're avoiding, well, trying to get the seller to, I'm sorry. Trying to get the seller to switch over to you when they are still under contract with an agent
Right.
without you knowing it, if there was a difference in those 2 dates.
One of the other questions I get is sometimes we get some sarcastic sellers going, well, do you have a buyer for my home? Not yet. As soon as I list your house, I will.
No, I never tell them I have a buyer.
Don't lie to them.
Even if I
and say-
have a buyer, I don't tell them that.
Yeah.
Because you never know, and the buyer may not choose that house.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of agents going, hey, you know what, your home when expired, I actually happen to have a buyer who may be interested in taking a look. Well, why didn't you show my house when it was listed? I don't know. Well, that's not the way I work. I would rather tell them, you know what, I'm a marketing agent. As soon as I list your house, I'm going to attract a lot of buyers. That's what I do. So why didn't you show my home when it was for sale? I'm a marketing agent for sellers, and this is what I specialize in. I love working with people like you who need to sell their home. And if I'm not negotiating contracts or speaking with new clients, then I'm looking for new advertising systems. I'm looking for new ways to market my clients' properties. I'm a proactive agent. I'm not reactive, I'm proactive. What do you mean you specialize in expired homes? Simply, I take a look at the marketing, pricing, and other dynamics of your listing and see where I can improve it. Honestly, I don't contact expired listings unless I believe I can prove my value and accomplish your goals. Makes sense? Okay, that's what I'm here to do is I've got value here. I'm going to bring you value that you've been missing. And I truly believe I can do it. So sample Facebook ad. Has your home listing expired too? Kind of like Sam right now, hourglass there. Did you have your home listed with a realtor that just didn't work out? Contact me and let's design a more proactive approach. I don't just list homes, I sell homes. So I don't want to go see this on Facebook in an hour, okay? Sample letter. Here's a sample letter for you all to look at.
Yeah, that's wordy, right?
It is. This one I copied out from somewhere to put in. Mine. All right.
Now with iPhones.
Fine.